Okay, artists, today we are going to be making a clay frog. So you're going to be getting a piece of clay from the drive-thru. You are going to find at your table spot that you're going to need to use a serrated rib, that rib with teeth. You're going to need a wooden skewer and some water. So the first thing you need to do is divide up your clay. We need some clay for legs and tongue and other details, some clay for the frog's body. Now the frog's body, we don't need too big because it's just kind of like the mouth. So you want your ball of clay to be about the size of a small orange or clementine. I'm going to add a little bit more over there. Okay, the rest of this I'm going to need for legs and extra details. So don't use too much clay on that frog mouth. All right, I'm making a pinch pot, and we're pretty familiar with making pinch pots by now. You need to start with a ball. You can roll it in your hands, roll it on the table. You can pat with your palm to make it round. It doesn't have to be perfect because we know it's going to become a frog's mouth. From here, I'm going to press my thumb down the middle, not all the way through to make a donut, just part of the way. And with my fingers, I'm going to pinch like a crab all the way around. As I pinch, I'm making sure that I have pressure all the way on the inside of my thumb and all the way on the outside of my finger. I don't want to just pinch with the little pincher fingers at the tip. I want to pinch with that whole hand. So I'm rotating around, pinch and squeeze, being careful of the pressure. Just gradually adding a little bit more and a little bit more to make my frog's mouth. Now, if there's a little bit of unevenness, you can use your finger to kind of smooth that out. If you need just a little bit of water, I would just dip your finger. We don't want to use too much water because that will turn your clay into something called slip. Slip is kind of like a muddy, slippery kind of clay. We want our clay to stay workable, so we don't want to add too much water. All right, this is my frog's mouth, so it's going to stay kind of like this, right? So we can see on the inside. Now I'm ready for the legs. So I'm going to divide up the clay. I'm going to have a piece for the one leg, a piece for the other leg, and two smaller pieces for the front legs. I'm going to leave this other little bit for some clay details like eyes, tongue, and if I want to add anything else to give my frog some personality. So with this piece of clay, I need to roll a coil. A coil is like a snake of clay. It's a long cylinder. I can roll that on my table. If it gets kind of flat on one side, just pinch so it turns round again. I can roll it in my hand, but I need to make a coil, and I don't want it to be too long and thin. Thinner than my finger is never a good idea for clay. So this leg needs to be pretty thick. Frogs jump, and those back legs are really powerful. All right, now I had to study the frog's legs quite a bit to figure this out. And their frog legs, when they're kind of curled up, ready to jump, they're in the shape of an S. So I'm going to hold my clay, and I need it to curve around to make an S. So just kind of pinching and gently squeezing my clay, I'm going to curve it around to make an S. Okay, I have a kind of a funky looking S because it's a little bit longer on the top and the bottom so that I've got those big, strong, powerful legs. Again, if the clay is kind of ripping or it looks wrinkly, I can add a little bit of water. Not too much because that will make slip, but just a little bit would be fine. Mostly when I see clay kind of wrinkly and cracked, I work more on smoothing it and less on adding water because I don't want to create that slip. That's never a good idea. All right, so the bottom part of the S is where the toes are going to be. So you can use your skewer to press in 3 little toes. Okay, I'm ready to attach this leg to the side of my frog's body. Okay, anytime I make an attachment or combine 2 pieces of clay, I need to do 3 things. Score, which means scratch. I need to scratch the leg and the side of the frog's mouth. I need to add slip. We know that's adding water. Score, slip, That's step 2, and press. I need to really make sure that that leg is connected. So do you see what I did? I put my left hand inside the frog's mouth and my right hand is pressing. If I just press with my right hand without my left hand supporting on the inside, my frog's mouth isn't going to be round anymore. All right, I'm really pressing and making sure that leg is nice and attached. Sometimes I kind of smooth out that line where the two meet, but you really want to press and make sure it's nice and attached and is not going to fall off. All right, 2 legs of my frog are attached. Now I'm ready to make those front ones, and those front ones aren't going to be quite as tricky. They're going to be just 2 small coils that are going to kind of poke out the front, like my frog is sitting with its little legs poking out the front, ready to jump. So I'm going to make another coil. This one doesn't need to be very long either, so I'm going to cut it in probably half for one leg and half for another. All right, I need to attach these legs to the bottom of the frog, so I need to score, slip, and press. Scratch. Add some water. And press, making sure that if I'm pinching, I'm holding the inside as I'm pinching the outside and smoothing it down. That's my 3rd step. Smooth, I guess, more than pinch. There's 2 little froggy feet. Again, I want to add some details to those froggy feet so that they look like feet, not just like 2 little coils. So use your clay tool to poke some little toesies. I need some details that are going to help my frog's face come alive. So I'm going to make 2 eyes. To make 2 eyes, I need to make a sphere. A sphere is a circle, but a form. So I'm going to roll that little sphere in my hands or on the table. Even these eyes I need to scratch. Add a little water and press. Especially these eyes, just because they're so small, those would be easy peasy to fall off. If I want to use the flat edge of my skewer, that can maybe add a little pupil for the eye. I think that looks good. I'm going to add 2 little dots with the edge of my tool to make little nostrils. Now here's the fun part where you get to really be the artist. And you are going to turn this frog into a little bit of a personality. You could add things like hats or glasses or teeth. Give your frog kind of a little bit of a story. What is their personality? I added a tongue to mine and added a little bug, but you could do whatever you would like. That little tongue is a coil, just to give you an idea, and that coil is getting pretty thin, so I can't have it be very long, and I want to keep it kind of curled up in the mouth. So if you're wanting to start with a tongue, which you don't have to, you would roll out a thin coil and attach it inside of the mouth. To attach any attachments, whether it's glasses, teeth, hats, tongue, you need to use the tool to scratch, add water, and smooth. Now, like I said, that tongue is really thin and fragile, so I've got to keep it pretty close to the inside of the frog's mouth. If it hangs out too far, it's definitely way too fragile and could break. All right, my frog is done. When your frog is finished, you need to raise your hand and I will come and write your name on it. Mine's a little stuck. With my tool, and then you can wash up your spot with a blue washcloth. I can't wait to see these frogs with personality.